What's up, everybody? This is FitSpaz Recovery. I'm your host, Paul the producer. I'm here to help keep you fit, healthy, and stay sober. So, interesting week this week. It has not been an ideal week for me by a long shot. And particularly because I haven't been able to exercise as much as I would like. And the reason is because a couple weeks ago when we got that huge snow, I kind of messed my back up. Or you could say my back, between my lower back and my glute. And I've had this shooting pain, kind of like a pinched nerve type deal, and I've had to take it easy. So I decided to take a little break from exercise and recuperate a little bit. Seems like it's going well, but I had to discontinue the workouts I was doing that were very intensive on that part of my body, and it's somewhat of a disappointment, but I haven't been beating myself up. I've just been taking it in stride, and yesterday I started my exercise again, and that's what I like. I like that better. I started my exercise again yesterday. It's been heavy weightlifting. I did this thing yesterday, Body Beast, chest and tries, and today I did Body Beast back and buys. And my chest and my triceps are mad sore today. That's why I love that particular workout routine, because it really gets me going and I feel fantastic, actually. I put in hard work and I can just tell when I'm doing it. I'm like, yeah, I know this one's gonna make me sore because I pushed myself all the way outside my comfort zone, and I know this kind of soreness when I have this, if I could get this every time I worked out, I know I'd be getting that muscle growth that I covet so much. Love that. So been kind of disappointed, wanting to keep busy, keeping my mind busy without exercise in the morning. I've still stuck to my other part of my routine, which is basically meditation and prayer. And then going in, I've done some active relief. I haven't been totally inactive. It's not the kind of thing that's keeping me totally immobilized. So I've gone for several walks down to the park and around. I've been active along those lines. Just not intense cardio workouts, not intense weightlifting involving the lower body, lower back type deal. But I'm glad to be getting back into it. I'm almost ready to start something new. And I'm still a little nervous, like, okay, if I start getting intense again, is my back gonna flare up? So I'm just giving it a little bit of a break. Last week I did a day that was total arms, and it was it's called bulk arms, and you do both biceps and triceps that day. And I had a lot of discomfort when I was picking up weights, and the heaviest weights I was picking up were just like 20-pound dumbbells in each hand. And so today I was encouraged because I picked up much heavier weights in both hands yesterday and today, and I dealt with it okay. So I'm okay. I'm moving on. You know, I'm not getting too disappointed. This is life, actually. Let me just point out that sometimes it's not going to go exactly the way we wanted, and there is that part of me that's disappointed, and there's also that part of me that's like, you know what? I don't have to give myself a hard time. Kind of like I said in the show last week, because I've been in exceptional physical condition on so many levels, and I want to stay healthy so that I can keep doing it long term. And if I keep pushing myself the way I was pushing myself when my body's giving me an indication, then I'm not going to be happy about it, because I'm going to be out of commission for even longer. So I went to a Super Saturday event for Beachbody on Saturday where I was out of commission, but I still went down there, watched people work out, and then after that they have like a company type meeting. Love the vibe, being around people down there. I just think it's fantastic how much enthusiasm and culture there is in this company. People love these workouts, and people are stoked. And it's nice to have this in common, that I love all these workouts from this company, and here's a group of people, they all love these workouts too. So if you're not familiar with Beachbody, by all means, I suggest going to one of these Super Saturday events. You don't have to be a coach, and you don't even have to have bought a program to register for one of these things and go. So if you know a Beachbody coach, or me, I'm sure I can find something where you are, because they have these big events, workout events. Sometimes some of the trainers show up to train with people, and it's a lot of fun. So I do suggest people go and do that. Ha ha! Next on tap, I haven't been to Marijuana Anonymous in I think it was 3 weeks ago tonight was my last meeting because there was the snowstorm and I decided not to go down there the day after it snowed because it was just sloppy roads and everything, and I just didn't want to risk it, so I stayed home that night. And last week I was just like, whatever, I'm not gonna go. And I had feelings like that tonight when I was thinking about going. I was like, do I really want to go? And I thought, you know what? I have been cooped up, isolated the last couple days. I haven't been around people enough. And so I decided, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get down there. I drove down, and I love now that I'm adjusted to the time change because it doesn't get dark until the later evening. So it's lovely driving down there when it's not dark and the sun's shining and I'm wearing my sunglasses. It's just so nice. I think people are out doing things. So the traffic wasn't congested. Parking was easy. And I got in there and I didn't talk tonight. Like almost everyone else in the group talked, but I did not. And I almost did, but I was just like, I'm just going to sit here and listen to people. People sort of seems like they need it, and I'll just hear what people have to say, and without divulging what anyone was talking about, various things came. Well, the topic of close loved ones passing away came up, and I don't think I'm revealing anything too much about the group because it's supposed to remain anonymous with everyone. So I'm not going to talk about anyone in particular, except that this is an interesting topic, especially as you get older in life. Let's say the topic isn't even someone passing away or dying. It's just that friends come and go in life, or you suffer through a breakup, a hardship of this sort. And as people were talking, I thought to myself, it took me an exceptionally long time to get over a relationship that ended once. And I mean really an exceptionally long time. And the point I'm making about it is, even though I say over it, I'm not obsessed with it like I used to be, but I still think about this person, and I still even dream. I dreamt about this person in the last week. I have a picture of her on my cell phone. It sounds like I might be stalky, but it's nothing like that at all. It's just I have fond memories of somebody, and the relationship ended, and I became a better person, a changed person, and a lot of personal growth between becoming a better musician, learning how to write, maturing. I've even thought of this relationship in terms of if I hadn't been a drinker or a smoker, I might have been behaving more maturely, and it could have flourished into something different. Different paths life can possibly take, especially when there's drug use involved. You know what? In my opinion, she was too good for me, specifically because I was too much into drinking and smoking, I think. And I'm not saying that was directly, I just think I would have behaved like a different person in that relationship. But, you go through what you go through in life for reasons. And along the lines of losing people, I somewhat obsess about losing my close family someday because of God knows why, and not knowing when really bothers me. So if it's like 10, 20 years out, I don't like to think about it. If it's like tomorrow, it's a total nightmare. It's a nightmare having to deal with that thought as soon as tomorrow or something. So it's a big stress factor. And I don't dwell on it, but I'm aware of it, and I think of it almost every day when I do my prayer, because there's along these lines, my prayer is like, wow, whatever happens, I really hope we'll be okay. And it's hard to imagine having to the problems that exist right now. If my mom and or my dad passed away, it's like, and the way the family functions as a cohesive unit in certain ways, it's like I don't want to deal with certain problems. And not that I'm not up to the task of doing it. If that's what becomes necessary, that's destiny. I'm just saying that I know I'm not best equipped to deal with certain things, and it's just a nightmare. So how do I deal with it? I try not to dwell on it. I'm not dwelling on it. The thought of losing my daughter is my absolute worst nightmare, And that's something I think about every day. And I don't dwell on that either. In fact, I try to put that fear aside and try to imagine that, hey, she's going to be around for a long time beyond me. And I hope that's the case, because I'm going to be committed to a mental hospital if I ever lose her. But because I love her so much, I would rather anything bad that could ever possibly happen to me and not her. And along those lines, a couple of my biggest fears are driving in the car. I think that's the one of the most rational fears I have, because I think it's one of the biggest risks we face in life, and we don't even realize it when we get on the road. We could just get in an accident and be gone oh, I get in my car and later today I'm gone. It just happens so instantly. And so I've heard so many stories like this that it freaks me out. And also just all the freaks in the world. So I'm like, I never want her to get lost or kidnapped or anything like that, or have something fall on her, or it's just her health and her well-being matter more to me than anything at this stage. But the topic of losing people did come up, and it was revolving around maintaining sobriety and processing emotions in a sober state of mind, instead of just escaping with drugs, which you don't get proper closure, I don't think, when you're getting high to deal with a loss like that. You don't process anything emotionally properly when you're using an outside chemical to try and deal with your emotional state. So I would say to people, keep that in mind, that if you're getting high to deal with the loss of a loved one, or your sadness, or your despair, or just the fact that you're addicted and you get in that irritated mood where your mind is telling you to use, remember, like I've talked on here before, that if you're getting high to change your mood, there is something wrong there. And some people might make an argument like, well, that's okay, that's my choice. And I have an attitude like, as a libertarian type person, of course, I support your choice to do that, but not without a full awareness of what that means, not without knowing that making that choice, maybe it's not the best choice, and that there is an alternative to life. And so I've still been struggling with connecting with people. I'm not getting out and engaging enough. And I'm glad that we're moving into spring and summer, because there will be more opportunities to do that. I did get out on Saturday to that Super Saturday event. And on Sunday, I went with my daughter and my sister to the Fairy and Elf Festival in Boulder, Colorado. And that was kind of interesting. My daughter lovingly made me put on fairy wings, and I took a picture, and then she said, now post it on Facebook. And she doesn't even have a Facebook page, and she only knows probably because she's like looking at mine and looking at her mom's, and it's amusing to me. But so only for the love of my daughter would I put on fairy wings, and I drew the line at the tutu. I was like, no way, tutu, no tutu for you, honey bunch. She didn't really ask me to put on a tutu. I just felt like I would add that for comic effect. And if it, for the sake of that festival, whatever, I'll put on a tutu. For the sake of that and the joke factor, I think I could deal with the tutu and not have problems with my masculinity. I mean, other guys might have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it. So bring on the tutu next year at the next annual Fairy and Elf Festival on Pearl Street in Boulder, Colorado. Next up, so I have been isolating a little bit, but I haven't been super depressed, and let me tell you why. Because it's kind of something I observed as either like super focus or addiction related. So I got a jigsaw puzzle when I was up in Boulder on Sunday for that festival I was telling you about. I got a 750-piece jigsaw puzzle. It's one by Michelangelo, and it's called The Creation of Adam. So it's like, it's white God with the white, old white man God with the white beard and the gray hair, reaching out with all these angels around him, touching the hand of Adam, who's on the other side of the picture. You might have seen that before. And 750 pieces. I don't know what I got myself into, but I started doing this thing on Sunday night, and I can't stop. And I'm serious. I'm not even exaggerating. I can't stop. I've just been doing it nonstop. I might be somewhere about 60 or 70% of the way, and it's starting to get easier because there are fewer pieces. But I'm telling you, there's such a broad spectrum of colors in it that blend and meld into one another. And do the green first, do the green. Put all the reds together, put all the reds together. And it's like making me insane because but it's like I'll sit around for an hour, time will fly by, and maybe I put 10 or 15 pieces on there. And it's insane how much time it's taking. It's insane how slow it's going. So you think, well, why are you doing it then? It's not frustrating. I'm like riveted by doing it. I feel like very extremely focused. Like I just have on either talk radio or TV in the background, and I'm leaning over like this for hours on end, because it's on my coffee table and my back hurts. And so the question I wanted to pose along the lines of this, because I think it's sort of fascinating how much focus and dedication I have for this. And I think to myself, dude, if only I could have that same exact kind of focus and determination that I have for this puzzle in all areas of my life, especially learning, my professional life, this podcast even. Like if I were that devoted that many hours a day for this podcast, it would probably be like blowing up. And so I'm just like, but why? What is it about this objective of getting this puzzle done? And you know, the whole reason I picked up a puzzle was last week during Halloween, my sister gave my daughter this little like 50-piece puzzle with a picture of the Easter bunny on it and an egg or something. So when my daughter went to bed, I went ahead and I did this jigsaw puzzle, and it took maybe half an hour to an hour or something. It was very easy. The pieces were big. It was not as brain damaging complicated as this Michelangelo one I got. Why did I get Michelangelo? Oh my God. But so I've noticed that I was really relaxed and determined to do that. So I had it on my mind. I was like, I kind of want to get a puzzle and do that. So when we're walking Pearl Street in Boulder, I walk by this store and I see, oh wow, they have all these puzzles outside for sale for 20% off. So I bought this thing for $15. I'll tell you what, as far as $15, adding up to an amount of time occupied doing something, the value is amazing. Unless you consider that a waste of time. But I was like, is this good for my mind doing this? In what sense is it a waste of time? But I'm telling you a bunch of things that I think are interesting about it. Like the fact that I'm so into doing it. And if I could devote that kind of same energy level and passion into all kinds of other things I'm doing, that would be amazing. Like it would pay off in droves. If I had spent this many hours working on a handful of things that I need to get done in my life, if I spent that much time in a week that focused on something, just what I've done in the last 3 days, I would leap forward in life astronomically. If I spent that time trying to get a girlfriend, if I spent that time just trying to find someone to have sex with, I'm serious. Yeah, have sex. I said have sex. But really, because there's no fear of rejection from the puzzle, it's like you can dive into this and no one's going to be like, screw you, man, you got that piece in the wrong spot. What the hell's the matter with you? And so like in real life, all these things I'm talking about, it's like there's inevitable failures you're going to have. It's like the failure putting a puzzle piece in. Let me put, it doesn't fit in there. I'm not like, darn it, that puzzle piece. Total disappointment. But the other things I'm talking about and I'm thinking about focusing on, there's this potential for a large level disappointment. And so how do you deal with the disappointment is what I'd like to sit and brainstorm with you. How can I deal with the disappointment of these things I'm not focusing on, but I'd like to be focused on that. I'd be thrilled if I were focused on them like that because I know certain things would pay off in a positive way. It's just that I know I'd get the percentage of negative back. Nobody's sitting there, like I said, and policing me with the puzzle and going, hey, you with the puzzle. Lame-o, what are you doing putting that on there? I don't want to talk to you anymore because you tried to put this white piece over here. What were you thinking? What were you thinking? I have to banish you. So there's no personal heartache that comes from doing the puzzle, is what I'm saying. I can hear some music now or what? That thing? Silly. So yeah, I've been doing that puzzle the last few days. I've been so, a couple of days ago, I don't know if the isolation's good, but I haven't felt depressed. And a couple of days ago on Monday, I put my phone on airplane mode in the morning, like I always do during my morning routine, so I'm not interrupted. And I forgot to take it off airplane mode. And so I was working on this puzzle all day long, and I'm looking at my phone thinking, oh, usually I get a call from my parents to go have dinner with them, but okay. So they're not calling me today. There's no dinner, no problem. And so I'm working on the puzzle, and then like around about 6 o'clock in the evening, I'm heating up some leftover vegetable soup on the stove, and ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, and my dad, I open the door and it's my dad, and he's like, you freaked us out, man. You're not answering your phone. I was nervous because I opened up your garage door and I saw your truck there, and I'm like, his truck's here and he's not answering. So they were all freaked out because I wasn't picking up my phone, and it's just because I forgot to take it off airplane mode. But the whole time, all day long, all I was doing with this was this puzzle. I don't know. And you know what I wanted to do right now instead of doing this podcast? Do you know? Do you know? That's right. Jigsaw puzzle. So, is it an addiction? What are the pros and cons of doing one of these puzzles? There's got to be some kind of mental exercise going on. Because I sit and stare at it for hours and I'm like, just need one of those edges with a little red tiny tip on it. Remember to look for that one with the little red tiny tip on it. Looking through all these. Yeah, I got it. Bam. And spending so much time just to get the one piece in there. But it feels so rewarding when you're like all of a sudden, and sometimes there are these moments when it's like, oh, bing, 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 and all these ones go together really quickly because of the way I'm sorting them to have the common proper colors and stuff. And it's really gratifying getting through that. And I was like, dude, I could buy another one of these puzzles and just spend my time like this. And I bet I still need to get out there engaging with other people. So, okay, so I've gone on about the puzzle forever, but do you get the point of what I'm making? The focus, the fact that there are these negative things like me isolating, but the fact that I'm also feeling like my mind is escaping. Time's flying like nothing else. I'm telling you, I can kill an hour on this puzzle and it's over in a second. It used to feel like that when I was younger and I would play guitar. I'm itching my nose a lot tonight. It itches. We have warm weather here in Colorado today, and my allergies are a little bit like... But I want to start wrapping this up. But I'm getting back into my exercise, and I'm on the verge of deciding exactly what I'm going to do. I really feel like weightlifting again. I have missed it, and I know I've lost a tiny bit of weight in bulk. And it's like, yeah, I just want to keep getting bigger, you know? Arnold Schwarzenegger, I heard him say in his book that bodybuilding, if you're really pouring your heart into it, is like a 10-year process to maximize your potential. And so I know I can get a lot more fit looking, and it looks cool. I like it. It makes me feel good. So that's what I want to do. Exercise is empowerment, people. But I like the cardio too. So as the weather warms up, I'm definitely going to be getting out to walk. I'm going to be incorporating these workouts from this new one I showed you guys recently, 22-minute hardcore, and that's fun too. I kind of want to get through that whole thing, but golly, I want to keep building muscle. That's why I kind of think I could put the two together and it would work really well. But so let me just tell you, I'm Paul the producer. This is FitSpaz Recovery. If you like anything you've heard, by all means, you can hear more by going to FitSpaz.com. You can look up all the other shows on there. You can listen to the audio on the website. You can subscribe to the podcast in iTunes, or you can subscribe to the videos in YouTube. It's your choice. It's your choice. So go to FitSpaz.com to do any of that. I want to say thank you to anybody out there listening. I appreciate your feedback, and Last week I was talking about the Share podcast. It wasn't the Share podcast. It turned out to be something called Recovery Elevator. So the whole topic about the specific topic about somebody wanting to get compensated for doing a podcast about recovery. Apply that to the other It goes for anything. If anyone's doing good work, it still all applies, but I just wanted to make that correction. So I am Paul, the producer. And I love you. If you like this show, I love you. Because I want to help. Yeah, this is a new outro. Pretty cool. What do you think? I want to thank Kevin MacLeod for the awesome music backdrop that I'm using every week, and I keep changing it up, trying to find something better. I might have something that's more like an intro bumper eventually, but I'm not in any hurry. I thought I had a technical problem with this computer before the show started. I just needed to replace the batteries in the mouse, and it's like, voila! He's working now, yes? Yes, he's working now, still! Good! I was worried for a second. I thought the computer was freezing or the hard drive was dying, and I don't want it to die because then I have this big problem I have to fix. And I don't have a multi-track recorder, and I don't have this pretty screen behind me and all these things. So that's it, everybody. Check out FitSpaz.com. This is me coming to you weekly. I hope you enjoyed something about what I said this week. Not all about recovery. Sometimes I just got to change it up a little bit, you know what I mean? I would like to be political, but I can't be. I just can't be. Not on this podcast. All right, everybody, have a nice week, and I will talk to you later. Rambling at the end. Peace.